Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to WrestleMania, and we are gonna kick tonight off with the one and only coveted European Championship match. I am your boy Jay, and today I am with the one and only Mick. Mick, please introduce yourself to these wonderful people.
Hello, I am Mick, an old-time wrestler back in the day, formerly known as Triple H, but you know what, today I am a commentator for this amazing show.
And you know what, this matchup is one of the matchups that's always got the crowd going crazy. You know a thing or two about the history between Mason and Jace. I'm pretty sure you do. If you wouldn't mind, you are some people here who might not know a lot about these two guys. Could you fill them in?
Well, we know Jace used to be European Championship on a different show known as World Internet Wrestling. Jace was a very hardcore champion, used to defend his championship every day, every night, constantly winning, would never back down, and was going to be a double-time champion until he met up with my son, Mason Foster. Mason Foster, Welsh Wonder Boy. Jace, Portuguese Phoenix, one-on-one European Championship. It's constantly going down. They've had matches in the Indies, they have matches now.
And man, these are two guys at the top of their game. They really are. These are people who, without a doubt, every single time they come down to the ring, they can get the crowd going crazy. I mean, look at the crowd right now. They're loving it, and they know exactly what it's for. How these guys have managed to get this European Championship, because obviously currently you'll probably notice that Jace did not come in wearing the strap, and Mason is not wearing the strap either. Yes, the European Championship is vacant, and both of these men are ready to go to war. They're ready to tear each other apart. Friendship aside, they're ready to kill each other if it means getting that European Championship back in their grasps.
They're both ready, they're both hyped. And it just seems like their matches get better and better each time. And we can tell Mason's very serious about this match. Look at that beard. He is serious, he is ready to go.
Yeah, I've seen Mason wrestle a lot of times, and he's always been that clean-shaven, clean-cut kind of guy. I mean, he is still quite young, but he usually does come down with a very clean-cut thing, and you can tell that with that facial hair, this man has been going day in, day out. He's stopped caring about facial, you know, getting yourself sorted out, because that's all you be thinking about. I mean, Jace always looks like he's ready to, murder people. These guys, they literally for weeks before the matches, they just keep thinking, and they just train to make sure that they're ready to go in for these matches.
It's insane the amount of training they both have done. Obviously, my son, I know about his training. He wouldn't tell me too much, but he told me about his training and how rigorous it was for this matchup specifically. And here it is, the European Championship.
It's definitely what it's all about. We got the Portuguese Phoenix versus the Welsh Wonder Boy. Let's get this match underway. All right, straight away we got Mason Foster with a quick reversal.
So as we know, Mason and Jace have been back and forth with their wins. Mason, obviously, I'm pretty sure has had 3 wins over Jace in the past, while Jace has had 2.
Something like that, yeah.
Something around that. So it's a pretty back and forth matchup. Can Jace tie it up, or is Mason going to get an extra win here at the grandest stage of them all?
You see, Mason is one of those characters that, he's just subversive. If you look at Mason, he does not fit the build of a standard wrestler. He's not the most muscly kind of guy. He's not the tallest guy. He's not the biggest guy. But what he lacks in physique, the guy makes for in heart and technique. He's arguably one of the best technicians to ever step foot. I would happily say that this guy could probably go toe-to-toe with the best of them. Bret Hart, Chris Benoit, even though you don't really mention them, Daniel Bryan. He could go toe-to-toe with any of these technicians without missing a step.
We know Mason's very patent in going for the legs. Pretty sure in one of his last matches in a show called CPWA, he had a gentleman's brawl, which is a knockout match between his old neighbor Johnny Edwards, John 182. We go for a drink usually. He knocked out Johnny with a nice, oh, look at that move, sorry.
Beautiful suplex.
He knocked out Johnny Edwards with a nice kick to the leg. Just too much pain, too much pressure onto the legs, as Mason usually does.
It is. I've seen him many times. Mason as well. Although outside of wrestling, personally as a commentator who has had the opportunity to commentate and be around backstage with Mason on many occasions, he is a pretty nice guy. He's pretty, he's pretty chill. He's pretty relaxed. But usually that kind of transpires in his wrestling. His wrestling style is usually that of what I would call a gentleman wrestler. He's getting the job done, but he only uses the force that he really needs to. But on occasion, I have definitely seen Mason tap into that darker side that we know he has. And obviously here we can see him straight away. He's going for those legs. He's going for Jace's legs. He is prepping.
Well, enough about Mason. As much as I respect him as he's my son, let's talk about Jace. Jace, a very different individual compared to Mason. He's very, I would say, disrespectful and very harsh towards his opponents. He does not care.
That is pretty true. And again, being as someone who's been on commentary for a very long time, I have had the pleasure of pretty much following Jace's career. And I mean, this guy, I remember speaking to him in an interview before I got the chance to commentate, and I did ask him what drives him to be as the best he can be, because it seems that he is always the talk of the town whenever he is in different brands. And Jace seems to be someone who is driven by revenge. He has outwardly spoken and said that he started wrestling only because of the fact that one of his heroes, one who he refused to name, was just incredibly disrespectful to him when...
yeah, Mason Foster going for the figure four.
Oh, this definitely could be a problem here. Mason Foster. Well, wow, Jace making his way out of it really quickly. Jesus. Quite impressive, actually.
Disrespectful, and some might see him as a lazy wrestler, but no, he researches every day. He researches all the time. He is an incredible adversary to go up against.
He is. He really is. And as much as I will have to say, as much as he does seem to have a bit of be a very disrespectful wrestler, he is very much into his mind games, and that's where apparently this whole disrespect comes from. This is what he's known for. He's known for getting under your skin and making it so that you exert all your force at the start of the match and end up, messing. Well, you'll not have anything left.
Exactly.
We got another kick out there by Mason Foster.
Now, he's a resilient wrestler, he is.
Now, I will say it does seem like Jace does have a bit of a soft spot for Mason Foster when it comes, especially at least when it comes to the verbal side of things. Of course, in the ring, he shows no mercy to anyone. But when it comes to the verbal side of things, he does seem to have a bit of a soft spot for Mason, with them both being childhood friends. And that seems to be why their matches are so well coordinated. These two were trained by the same man under the same, it's not even like they were trained by the same man on different occasions. No, they trained together. Another kick out by Jace.
Yes, and Mason and both Jace were trained by the Amazing H, an old wrestler back in the day. I've never been able to step foot in the ring with him, but he is an incredible adversary to go up against. The Amazing H known for both his craziness and his leg moves in the ring, which both Jace and Mason have taken different ways.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. Oh, as we literally as we see right now, Jace using more of a Muay Thai kind of attack. Wait, hold the phone. Is that Jace trying to use some technical moves right here? Jace trying to destroy the arm of Mason Foster, but Mason's having none of it, rolling out of it.
I'd say Mason is more of the technical between the two.
Definitely. If these two, I do think that it is. It connects. He busts him wide open. Oh, the Crimson.
1, 2. And
oh my God, that is it.
What a match.
And you know what? That puts the two of them on both 3 wins. 3 wins each.
Jace had to win this one. Mason just couldn't hold up. He started to bleed. He started to give up. As much as he's an incredible adversary tonight, Jace was the winner and the European champion, respectfully.